We have got to talk about Windowkill. I have been playing this game a little bit today. I played it some yesterday. I picked it up this weekend after it was sitting on my wish list for far too long. Now, the game came out in February of 2024, so it must not have been sitting on my wish list that long, but somehow it took me a while to get around to it, and it feels like it's been sitting there for ages. It's only $5 on Steam, right? So I finally picked it up and I went, okay, this looks like it'll be good for short sessions. This looks like a nice little game that I can fit into my schedule. I popped into it and I loved it. I didn't pick it up at first because I thought it looked kind of gimmicky. I think that's what kept me away from it. And then when I looked into it and I played it, honestly, I didn't even look into it. It's $5. I bought it. And then I started playing it, and I was like, oh my God, this is not a gimmick. This is an entire game designed from the ground up around an innovative concept. This is a game that is built to be played in this strange, unique way that other twin-stick shooters have not explored, where the gameplay happens across several windows on your desktop. And God, I love it. And there's so much that I have to say about how they've taken this individual, simple, straightforward concept and just executed the hell out of it and gotten every single bit of value that they possibly could, at least as far as I can tell. But maybe there are other ideas that they didn't explore. Maybe there are things that somebody else could come up with down the road. But I'm so happy with this game, and I find its design deeply inspiring. So let's talk about that, and then let's talk about what we can learn from this game as game developers, and let's get this week started right. All right? This is Game, Develop, Repeat. I'm your host, Chris, and as always, thank you for joining me. All right, let's start by doing something that I very rarely do. I'm going to read the blurb for Windowkill off of Steam, the little description. Windowkill is a twin-stick shooter, but the game window itself is constantly closing in on you. Shoot the window edges to push it around your screen as you fight and dodge enemies and bosses in their own windows. The part that I want you to focus on in that description is shoot the window edges to push it around your screen as you fight and dodge enemies and bosses in their own windows. So you have your own kind of core center window that you are in, that you are shooting the edges of to expand the window out. It pushes the window out, and you want to connect over to another window off to the side where something is shooting at you from there, right? Or you want to expand down so you can dodge out of the way of something coming at you from above or from the side, or you want to expand up. And you have such a tight area of play at any given time, and you can expand it out. You can kind of have the window function as a fog of war, as a bunch of blind spots, as a vision limitation while you are playing this action-packed twin-stick shooter where you have to dodge bullets coming at you from every direction. It is very cool. It is a very cool game. There's a constant sensation of pressure that I do not know that I have experienced in that way before. I mean, games apply pressure in a million different ways, right? There's a timer, there's increasing difficulty, this, that, and the other. There's a wall of death constantly chasing you in mini side scrollers. This isn't a wall of death, but it kind of feels like it. It's a wall of vision. There's this thing that happens in the game Vampire Survivors, right? Where you have enemies attacking you from all sides, constantly encroaching in on you, and you start to get surrounded and surrounded and surrounded, and you get to a point where you can't fight your way out. From the very beginning of Windowkill, there's just a little sensation of that claustrophobia, of that feeling of, uh-oh, I may not be able to get out this way. I may not be able to get out that way. You're getting locked in. Something could appear from the left or below or above, or sorry, I'm saying below and above, but it's a little weird on a 2D. Anyway, something could appear from your left or your right or below you or above you, and you would never know unless you keep the window open wide enough, unless you keep shooting the edges of the window periodically so that you still have vision. So the very thing that you are using to kill these waves of enemies has to also be used to expand the window. You have to pay attention. You have to make sure that you have enough information at any given time so that you don't just get destroyed, so you don't get crushed, so you don't become too blind. So you get that feeling. You get those hordes of enemies as the game carries on. So you've not just got the window that you're fighting against, but you've got hordes of enemies. And some of them can shoot from their window into yours. So you have to journey over to their window. You have to fight your way over to them to be able to shoot them. And then, oh, what do you know? Your window has started contracting. Now you have to fight your way over there again, right? There was stuff in your way. You had to shoot it. Your window kept closing in on you and you weren't able to keep it open for long enough. Or the enemy moved, teleported over somewhere. Now you've got to fight your way that way. There is so much beauty in the simple game design choices that this developer has made. The developer's name on Steam is Torcado, by the way, Torcado. And the choices that they're making are so cool. It's so freaking cool, man. That these there are little gameplay things that I'm not going to spoil for you. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil one of my favorite game design elements. So I'll leave that, right? But there are ways that the pressure of the window is used against you. And there are ways that just having all of these different windows around creates chaos. There are things that you can do with windows while paused. This I will tell you about. You have sort of a leveling system where some of your points go towards, not always, but your points kind of go towards creating some other windows. It's one of the options, right? And you have another way of leveling, a different sort of experience points that's more like character growth stuff, attack faster, move quicker, that sort of thing. And there's a separation between these because one is more powerful. So you can create little windows. So you can create a window. Let's give you this example because it's very straightforward. There's a window that you can make that just gives you vision somewhere. So it's just a window that you move and place and sit it somewhere, and now you can see whatever's over there. Because, and this is one of the great things about this game, whatever is happening on your whole screen, right, is still happening behind these windows. So there's sort of a simulation running, I guess, of all of the enemies and everything that are not yet spawned in Windows, right? Like you can see them coming onto your screen, you can expand your screen and reveal them. It's all happening in kind of a fog of war. And the fog of war is just your desktop. The fog of war is your desktop. And the game appears on your desktop as you shoot the windows out. And it's got this strange little fourth wall effect that I love. And here's what I think is really clever about this. I think if you were just straight up using fog of war that encroaches in on you and expands and encroaches, sure, possible, might be a huge struggle. Might be really frustrating to get to look right for less satisfaction. And the aesthetic that this developer chose, this aesthetic of windows that expand and contract as you hit them, is so brilliant. It's so nice. And it's such a well implemented series of ideas that feel very intuitive once you start playing the game. The game takes advantage of your understanding of Windows, not the operating system, the windows themselves, the application windows. The game takes advantage of your existing knowledge of, oh, I can move this window around. Oh, I can close out of this way. I can do that. Like it just takes that and ties it into the game design a little bit. And then the art is very simple, colorful, shapes, strong colors, clear shapes, and a lot of bullets and chaos, right? Very straightforward, easy to read because you're getting a lot of chaos on the screen. I love a game like this. If you can't tell, I love a game that has got a really well executed, simple but extremely elegant and well made design, right? This is not something that was done thoughtlessly. And I'd be very curious if the developer had all of these different concepts put together as they were making the game. I want to know what failed and what worked, right? I want to know how this game came together. Did the window concept, was that the first thing to happen? I imagine that was probably a pretty fundamental part of this game design. Right? I imagine from the get-go they were probably like, "Oh, windows, different windows with enemies in them." And now what I'm so curious about is how much of this was the plan and how much of this was a fun and exciting discovery while you were executing on the plan. Let's talk about some miscellaneous details of this game. It's got lots of unlocks. Lovely. Really enjoy that. And it's got my favorite type of cosmetic. It's got the kind of cosmetic where you just go, "Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I appreciate that." And a lot of them you go, "I don't really care." But some of them, you know, every little unlock that you get, every little like achievement style thing you do is to unlock something in the game. You unlock some characters with different fighting styles, not unlike Vampire Survivors. But you also you unlock different aesthetics for the windows. So this is my favorite stupid little cosmetic thing. I don't know why this tickles me so much, but I really love it. The borders for the windows in the game can have their art style changed to different classic operating systems. Right now, I can change mine to Ubuntu. I can change mine to a couple versions of Windows, which I think you get from the get-go. There's a Mac Classic. I have not unlocked Windows 98, which is what I want. I really want to unlock the Windows 98 one. I don't know why. It's a nostalgia thing. But the fact that I feel that way about this cosmetic is wonderful to me. I never care about cosmetics in games. I just go, yeah, okay, whatever, fine. I mean, to some extent, I want to look cool. Sure, fine. But I think this has made me realize something. I love the cosmetics on this because they're just cool. I look at it and go, oh, that seems fun. That seems cool. That seems exciting. I dig it. And I don't feel that way a lot about cosmetics in bigger games because a lot of it is like it's a pay to get it thing or it's like a social comparison thing. This game is just like you do the thing, you get this cosmetic, and oh, you like it or you don't like it. Cool. Oh, you like it? Cool. Oh, you don't like it? Cool. And I really, I really enjoy the playfulness of these cosmetics. I enjoy the playfulness of this game in general. There's something about it that feels very just, we're having fun here. You know, we've got this crazy little arcade game idea where you want to play with your background a little bit on it. Cool. You want to. It's so nice. Yeah, it's refreshing. It's wonderful, and I believe it's made in Godot because I saw a little Godot logo when I launched this bad boy. I feel the need to confirm, so I will issue a correction if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty dang sure that it is made in Godot, which is cool. I like that. We like to see a successful game made in Godot, right? Obviously, well, not obviously. I'm saying this because it's not obvious. I recommend playing this with a mouse and keyboard. I had a little bug initially when I was playing it. I don't know why. I had to unplug my controller. I think, oh, wait, no, I do know why. I have an issue with my controller, my gamepad. So I had to unplug my gamepad because otherwise it'll keep trying to steal the input. And in some games, that's a problem. In this game, that was a problem because I have a little kind of a drift thing going on with one of the joysticks. So fair enough. But the mouse and keyboard is better than the gamepad because there are situations where you want to move windows around. So, let's use the mouse and keyboard. It's got a nicer flow to it. And I just recommend it. I recommend it, and I think there's a lot that we can learn from it. I love the way that it creates this sort of fog of war feeling and this feeling of constant pressure, and does some really cool, like, not really third wall stuff. I don't know what exactly it is. It references knowledge that you already have about computers in order to create a different, slightly nostalgic, but slightly like slightly third wall breaking feel. Fourth wall? Am I even using the right term? It's too late. Too late. I'm getting tired. Oh my God, I have to look that up now. Hold on, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting whether it's third wall or fourth wall. What a rough moment for me. I'm leaving this in just so you can witness my shame. Oh my God, one sec. Okay, that immediately became more interesting than I expected it to. I thought I was just misusing a phrase. It looks like both exist. So breaking the fourth wall is kind of what I think I was fishing for, which is, a character addressing the audience directly, essentially. Breaking the third wall is another phrase that I did not know was a phrase and may not entirely be one, but I did a really little tiny bit of research. I clicked on like 2 links after I searched it. Breaking the third wall has to do with a character referencing the medium that it's in, right? So like you probably already know this, but now I'm talking through it. Like a character going, what is this, a horror movie? After something that would be typical of a horror movie happens in the movie, right? It would be like, oh, this is such a what a situational comedy moment in a sitcom, right? That sort of thing. So I guess what I'm looking for with this game is breaking the third wall, because there are things where you're interacting with the windows and it affects all of the characters in the gameplay. So the gameplay breaks the third wall. The game is not addressing you directly, although I did play a game called Slay the Princess recently that kind of does definitely break the fourth wall in a really weird way. But the breaking the third wall thing here is cool because it's like purely gameplay. Like the gameplay itself references the fact that it's a game, which I'm a sucker for, but not in like this over the top, like, oh, look at how incredibly arrogant we're being about the fact that this is not actually arrogant, but you get what I'm saying. Like this way where it ends up feeling pretentious. It's not doing any of that. It's not trying to give any kind of message. It's just like, oh, yo, by the way, the gameplay is part of the fact that the game is an application. So isn't that kind of weird? I love it. I love it. It's such a cool thing. Now that we've gone on that weird tangent about third and fourth walls, let's talk about what we can learn from this game as developers, as creators. Let's take a little look. Let's dive into the hood a little bit. I say that as though I'm going to do a bunch of deep technical talk. I'm not. We're just going to take a look at it from a design perspective and go, what can we learn? What can we pick up from this? Lessons from Windowkill. Let's go. Here's the first one. Here's the big takeaway lesson. You know what? I'm saving it. I'm saving it until I've talked about one or two of the other ones. I'm going to do that annoying thing that people do where they're like, oh, and the number one thing, and they put it at the end of the video. You know what? I can't do it. I can't do it to you. The number one lesson from this freaking game is you don't have to do everything. You can just deliver on some simplicity. You can just really pull off one concept, one change, one little evolution in gaming. Just push the barrier a little bit, push the limits, I should say, a little bit, expand our understanding of game design by 1 or 2 steps, and you can make some major strides. And I believe that this game expanded my understanding, our understanding of what is possible in game design, right? It went, hey, what if we do this with Windows? And we went, oh, whoa, hold on. That worked really well. That's really interesting. And now somebody else is going to play with those ideas. Maybe one of you, maybe me, who knows? But now other people are going to, ooh, let's screw with this some more. And maybe somebody else did a little bit of this before that inspired this game, right? But you don't have to create an MMO. I'm going to say this until the day I die. I'm going to keep repeating this to the void. You don't have to make an MMO. You don't have to recreate a massive RPG. You don't have to do any of that. You just got to go, what do I want to make? And what's interesting about it? And then whatever's interesting about it, you got to freaking deliver. You got to go, what can I do to really pull that off? And you can explore it, and you can take your time to make some quality. And just, oh man, all the little details in this game are so nice. There's so many nice little things where you go, ooh, they didn't have to do that, but they did. Oh, they didn't have to do that, but they did. They didn't have to make this whole window concept, but they did, right? Because it makes it more interesting. They didn't have to make 5 characters. They could have gone, okay, I did the window. Is it 5? I think it might be more. They didn't have to go, I did the window concept. All right, cool. So now we just got 2 characters. You can unlock 1, blah, blah, blah. Right? You could keep it so ridiculously simple. But they were exploring. I get that feeling that they were going, ooh, this might be fun. Oh, and this might be fun too. Oh, man, what if we did this? And then they made a certain number of enemies, and it's not too wild, right? And then they went, okay, what about these different characters? How are those going to interact with this? What about a couple different play modes, right? Because you've got the endless mode that you start with, and then there's a timed mode. And then I think there's a third mode that I've not unlocked yet. Whoops. But you get this sense of playfulness. And that is what really came through to me on this game. Playfulness. The exploration of an idea and the enjoyment of exploring that idea and going, I really want to deliver on this. I really want other people to see what I see in this idea. Now I could just be projecting all my own feelings and hopes onto this, but I think that that's what's going on here, right? In fact, I'm almost certainly projecting my own feelings and hopes onto this. That's kind of what I do. That's kind of part of this whole me commenting on how I feel about games thing, right? Like I would have to talk to the developer in order to get a sense of how they felt about it. And at some point, dude, I want to start doing that. I got to start talking to people about the stuff that they made, because I'm out here just guessing and going, oh, maybe this is what was going through their head. I want to get into people's heads a little bit. I gotta figure that out. We'll look into it. That might be years. That might not happen anytime soon. Ay. God, what am I doing? Why am I always diving into ideas like this and going, ooh, what if I could do that? Okay, we got to find time, bud. What did I say? What did I say just a minute ago, right? It's okay to just do one thing and explore it and see how good you can make it. I don't have to make the whole MMO. Right now, I'm doing one thing, and then I can add to it once I get to a certain point. Okay, back on track, back on topic. This game, the biggest thing that it inspires me with is the tight game design ideas. This idea that you can create an excellent design, toy with it, play with it, experiment it, refine it, and then deliver something incredible with minimalistic graphics, which I always love. That always gets me excited, with pretty straightforward but very compelling audio, right? It's got some nice songs, some nice drum and bass. I love some drum and bass. A good energy to it. Some cool enemies and some unlockables. Some cool art. A little something to give you a little, ooh, I pulled that off. and some very well-balanced gameplay. Because there's a constant sense of pressure. If this game did not have the right pacing for the pressure that you're feeling, for the speed that the window is closing in on you, for how much you can push it out, the ability to change your kind of upgrades and get a little bit more power in this direction and the other helps you to balance the game to your own taste. It's got a sort of a dynamic difficulty going on. You pick the upgrades that you want. There's some limitations, but there's a pretty good amount of flexibility, so you kind of get to your own challenge level, which I always love about these games that have frequent level ups. Now that I'm realizing it, this is the first time I put this into words, but I love that you create your own difficulty in games like this. It's got multiple modes that kind of allow you to choose your difficulty more directly, more explicitly. It's so good. So all of these things, they're not that insane to implement. Now, making any good game is going to be a real pain. All right? Like, this game has had a lot of cool, hard work put into it. I'm sure the whole window concept thing probably had some weird technical difficulties, right? It's probably some annoying stuff going on there. In fact, I'm sure there is. There must be, right? I mean, there's a whole kind of, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's not as bad as I'm thinking it is, but I'm sure it wasn't just like the easiest implementation ever, right? I'm sure it took a little bit. But the difference between, this is going to be a pain to implement, and oh my God, I need a whole team of like 25 people to ever get the number of art assets that I need to make this game in time, right? That's a huge difference. This is going to suck to implement is very different. I know it can feel the same, but it's very different from I cannot feasibly do this within this time span on my own, right? And it's important to know that distinction. And one of the reasons I find a game like this so inspiring is because I look at it and I go, ooh, that's feasible. You got to be good. You got to know what you're doing. You got to figure it out. You don't have to be good. You have to become good in the process of figuring it out. And you have to have some underlying, initial skill set going on. Like, you have to already have trained up some skills. Sure, fine, whatever. But you have to become good, but you can do it. Right? That's one of the reasons Stardew Valley is such an inspiration and such a horrifying project to look at is I look at Stardew Valley and I go, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem feasible. But it is. Somebody did it, right? He did it. So that one always throws me a little bit. But when I see a small project like this, I don't even know if this may very well have been a team. I don't know. I haven't dug into it, and I really should. Somebody look into it. Let me know. I should look into it. But I'm not going to right now because this episode... You know what? I'll look into it right now. I'm going to be a good host. One sec. Okay. Appears to be a solo developer who has been making games since 2011 and has completed the Ludum Dare Game Jam consistently since LD Jam 26. I don't know what year that would have been. Let's see. That's about the deepest of a dive that I'm going to do right at this moment because I really need to go to bed. But you can look them up online. Torcado, right? They've got their own nicely designed website also. I mean, oh, mercy. Whole bunch of little games on here. This is nice. There's a lot of little, oh my God. There's all these cool little browser-based games, I think. Yeah. Yep. Little snake platformer. Ghost Bird. Ooh, now you're just home run bun. Now you're just listening to me exploring this person's entire website. Is this them? Break the tower, switchblade, glowing. Windowkill. Yeah, okay, this is them. Cool, got it. So they've got an itch. They've got their own website with their links. We're gonna link this in the description of the show. We're just gonna put their website up here. Cool. So you can do a little exploration on your own if you want. That was a fun little rabbit hole. I'm glad I went down that rabbit hole. Okay, so is in fact a solo developer. I continue to be inspired. And I think this goes to show what you can get out of just enjoying and exploring the craft for like a while. Because just that quick glance at their profile, it looks like they're making a bunch of different stuff, and it all looks a little bit goofy and a little bit fun and a little bit experimental, and it looks like somebody who is having a good time making games, and I find that deeply inspiring and exciting. And I recommend that you check out this game, Windowkill, or take a peek at their website. I haven't tried any of the games on their website. I know nothing about them other than everything that you just heard me say. So that's it. Those are the lessons to take away from this game. Oh, and you know what? The one tighter lesson, you can focus in, right, on one thing. That's what I'm really trying to get at here. There's the bigger picture ideas, but you can make it small and see what you can do with that, and then expand out and explore as you become curious, as you become interested in new ideas. Here's your question for this week. It's more of a challenge, but I want you to find a game that you find inspiring, something that you love, something you really enjoy. And I want you to not just go, "Ooh, this is inspiring and cool." I want you to look at it specifically. I want you to pick a detail of the game and say, "What is it about this that I like so much? And what about this is reproducible for me?" And then if you're really feeling it, go play around with that. Go try to reproduce that kind of design, that kind of simplicity, and then explore it. See what else you can do. Start playing with it. Start messing around and doing your own weird stuff. Or at least designing your own weird stuff. That's my, not really question, but challenge. My question is, hey, you got any good tiny game recommendations for me? You got anything that I can play in 30-minute or less sections, little chunks, little tiny experiences? Because if you do, I need to hear about them. I need my gaming to pivot towards small, short experiences. And if you've got some that you think I would enjoy, hit me up in the Discord or email me at anxiousbuddhagames@gmail.com. All one word, anxiousbuddhagames. Or jump in that Discord and shoot me a message or put it in whatever channel. I don't really care what channel, just not anything insane. Just somewhere that kind of makes sense, right? General chat, cool, done. That's everything I've got for you this week. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. I'm sorry if I droned on a little bit on this one or got very unfocused. I am well past my bedtime, and oops. And that's all I've got to say. I will try to record the next one at a time when I am not so dang sleepy. But try Windowkill. It's a good game. I liked it. I recommend it. And that's everything I have to say. I'm going to shut up before I ramble about something random again. Thank you all for joining me. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, get out there, make some stuff, and please, I'm begging you, please have fun with it. That's an order. Just explore. What did I say about rambling? All right, I'm done. Have a good night. Have a good week. Jesus Christ, this releases at 8 in the morning. I'm a disaster. Have a good week, everybody.